All right, so today we're diving into something a bit different.
Yeah,
Bit hypothetical.
Real clash of the titans.
so it's going to be fun.
We're imagining a showdown
A dream match, really.
between Sir Viv Richards
Batting legend,
at his absolute peak,
destructive best, versus
the one and only,
Shane Warne.
the Spin King,
A B.
also in his prime.
At the top of his game.
Our source for this deep dive sets up this epic duel,
And tries to answer
the age-old question,
of what happens when
an unstoppable force.
beats an immovable object.
In this case,
Deceptive spin.
let's start with Sir Viv Richards.
The master blaster.
The source really emphasizes his fearless approach.
Yeah, it goes beyond just hitting.
It's this aggressive intent.
Right from the get-go.
And it wasn't just against fast bowlers.
Nope, he took on everyone.
Spinners, too.
All the greats.
He just seemed to dominate.
In a way that few batsmen ever have.
The source breaks down exactly how he achieved that dominance.
It wasn't just raw power.
Though there was plenty of that.
It was his incredible footwork.
Yeah, he was so quick on his feet.
Getting into position to attack,
Even against the spinners.
and then he'd unleash.
Those powerful strokes.
Think about facing that as a bowler.
No time to settle.
Just constant pressure.
And of course, the mental side of things.
The source talks about Richards' unwavering confidence.
That swagger.
He believed he could conquer any bowler.
Expected to win.
That must have been intimidating.
Absolutely. But even with all those strength?
There was a potential weakness.
Right, the source mentions it?
It was tied to that very aggression.
So a double-edged sword in a way.
Sometimes that desire to attack early.
Could create opportunities for the bowlers.
Even someone as skilled as Warne.
A mistimed shot.
A slight misjudgment.
It could be all it took.
Now on to Shane Warne.
The source doesn't hold back.
Calls him the greatest leg spinner ever.
I think a lot of people would agree.
For those who maybe aren't as familiar with cricket,
Leg spin is a type of bowling where,
the ball spins from leg side to offside.
for a right-handed batsman,
Warne had that classic leg break,
plus the flipper,
which goes straight on,
and the slider,
which skids off the pitch.
a real arsenal.
But what set him apart, according to the source?
Was his tactical genius?
He wasn't just
I
bowling,
was thinking,
reading the batsman
pick 'em up.
over several deliveries.
And then boom,
The trap was sprung.
a psychological battle as much as a physical one.
Exactly. But even Warne had his challenges.
The source points that out too.
It mentions that batsmen who weren't afraid
To take him on
to attack relentlessly,
could sometimes disrupt his rhythm,
take away his control,
and that element of doubt
which was so crucial to Warne's success.
could vanish.
So now let's get to the heart of it.
The hypothetical clash,
What would actually happen?
if these two legends faced off.
The source lays out a couple of scenarios.
First scenario,
Warne gets into his groove early.
lands those leg breaks consistently,
Maybe Richards hesitates for just a second.
and Warne exploits that tiny window,
It's a sharp turn.
beating the bat.
Can you hear those stumps rattling?
But the source ultimately leans towards a different outcome.
More likely,
Richards comes out firing,
uses his footwork to attack,
disrupts Warne's rhythm,
doesn't let him settle.
and spinners need that control.
They thrive on dictating the tempo.
But an aggressive batsman like Richards?
Can completely throw them off.
So what's the source's final verdict?
In this epic showdown,
And they believe
power would triumph over spin,
Richards' sheer force and aggression,
would likely overcome,
even Warne's brilliance,
a testament to the impacts.
of overwhelming dominance. So for our listeners,
This deep dive
gives us this thrilling
contest.
and the key takeaway.
Is that in this specific matchup?
The source believes
Sir Viv Richards' explosive power,
would likely conquer.
Shane Warne's spin mastery.
But that raises a fascinating question for you all to think about.
Consider other iconic sporting rivalries
Across different sports
where you have contrasting styles. What are the crucial factors
that tend to determine the winner
when seemingly equally matched opponents
with such different approaches?
collide?
Is it always about raw power versus intricate skill?
Or are there other more subtle elements at play?
That's something to ponder.
And we'll leave you with that.
Until next time.
Keep exploring.